Thank you for purchasing a bamboo headliner from bamboomwagons.com. You're going to love it. For a split window bus, the installation is actually very easy, but this video will demonstrate the install process and hopefully make it even easier. Now before we begin, it's important to understand that there are many different models of split window bus. There are sometimes even variations within the same year. So what you're about to see may or may not all take place within the same bus, this bus, or it may be a mixture of different buses, but whatever you're about to see, I'm going to work hard to make sure that you see the video that matches your exact bus and your exact year. If for whatever reason it doesn't, just contact me and I'll send you the right video. Let's get started. First, remove the rear dome light. Then remove the vent trim plate. Now, standard and deluxe model buses had headliners in them originally, which means they come with these rows of headliner clips here. Now, the bamboo headliner only covers the roof portion of your bus, so it will cover over these headliner clips, but these lower ones around the front is kind of up to you to figure out what to do. Some people knock them off and then paint. Some people gently pound them down and then cover them in some kind of fabric or vinyl. Unfortunately, like I said, that's kind of up to you to figure out what to do. But if your bus is a standard or deluxe, meaning it has these headliner clips, here's what you're going to want to do. Now, your fresh air vent has 2 screws on the sides. You're going to want to undo the top one, and you're going to take one of these metal clips. There's a pair of them, which was included in your kit, and you're going to need to slip this underneath there. So stick the screw through it and put it right back. Okay? Do that for both sides. Okay, now we're going to put up our hardboard supports. All the hardboard supports are labeled by letter on the front. We're going to start with A, C, and E. We're going to skip B and D and F for now. So we'll start with A. There's A1 and A2, one for each side of the front. Doesn't matter which. One edge of the hardboard support is going to go over here, and the other end is going to go right on top of this little tiny ledge that we just put. Okay? Bend it, don't break it. There we go. Then you're going to take one of your styrofoam pieces and you're going to want to jam it up right above there. That just helps keep it secure. Squeeze it in there. And center it. Good. After doing both fronts, we're going to move on to the middle. And that is hardboard piece C. All right? Now this goes right exactly between these 2 windows. So you're just going to get it right up in there, and it's going to come straight across, but remember that it's not going to line up exactly between your 2 cargo doors because one cargo door is thinner and one is thicker. So it's from your vantage point, it's going to come exactly straight across from between these 2 windows on the other side. Okay? Now, on the inside of your bus roof, you can feel up here with your finger. There's kind of an outer ledge, and then there's like an inner trench, like a little channel. This is very, very important. For the entire rest of the installation, these hardboard supports must be pulled into that inner channel. Okay? So you're going to grab this, and you're going to pull it into the inner channel. If it ever, at any point in the installation, pops out of that channel, you've got to grab it, you've got to pull it inward. Now that that's up, we're going to take one of our larger styrofoam pieces and we're going to jam it up on top. And make sure that it's centered. Grab the edges again and pop it into that inner channel. Always, always, always. You got to keep checking that during the installation, the hardboard supports remain in that inner channel. Keep pulling in, always, okay? Let's move on to hardboard piece E. So we've got hardboard support E. We're going to do the exact same thing. This goes centered right between these two windows. If you've got a Deluxe, if you only have an 11 window, that's okay. So you won't have this back window, but there will still be a seam right here. Just center it right over that. That's fine. So right in between the two, pop into the inner channel. Make sure we get it right. Do the same on the other side. Okay? And then stuff your styrofoam up there. All right, looking good. Let's move on to the next step. Now, hardboard supports B, D, and F are a little bit different because they go screwed into these metal roof supports. So we're going to start with B, all right? And these are labeled which way should go forward and which way should go inward, so make sure to use the right piece. As you can see, this is going to go toward the front of the bus, this is going to go toward the inside of the bus. So it should look like that, all right? You're going to take this hardboard support and push it as far outward as you can, and that means that when you screw it in, there's going to be like an inch or an inch and a half gap between the hardboard support and the air vent box. That's good, you want that. So we're gonna take a drill with a 1/8 inch bit. It doesn't have to be too perfect, but do try to center it on the metal support here. Drill, and then screw. Hardboard support D goes right up against this metal roof support. You probably want to bend it downward first and then snap it up. Watch your fingers. Inner channel and inner channel. All right. Then you're going to fish through your little dome light wire. And just like before, we're going to drill and screw. Here we are now at the rear hatch of the bus for hardboard support F. Now again, pay attention to which way is facing forward. This arrow should be facing toward the front of the bus. Quick note, you might have some pointy things here. Just ignore them for now. Just don't poke yourself, that's all. You're going to take this hardboard support and we're going to do the same thing. Just center it, drill and screw. Now what you've got should look like this. A nice, flat, even, and sturdy surface to hang our bamboo headliner from. We'll start by removing all the tape from the hardboard supports. Now this is a little strange. Some of these old split window buses, but not all of them, and I haven't really figured out any rhyme or reason as to which ones do and which ones don't, but some of them have a little triangular piece right here. If yours has it, we need to get rid of it. So you get rid of it just by drilling out this one little rivet on the bottom. Just like that. Now we'll take our actual bamboo headliner pieces. We'll start with the front. These are all labeled on the back, so we'll start with front driver. And you'll notice that this has some double-faced tape on the back of it. Go ahead and peel the paper off that, and then take your foam block and put it in its place, okay? Right on top of it. It doesn't have to be too perfect, but what it cannot do is overflow off the sides of the bamboo piece, okay? Go ahead and mash that on there, and then we'll get started. So you're going to take your bamboo headliner piece, the driver's front side, and you're going to try and just maneuver it up here. It may take some massaging and some squishing and some stretching. Don't stick it to the double-faced tape quite yet. You want to get it in a position first. This edge should go flush with this edge, so make sure that you're doing that. Make sure you're pushing forward as far as you can possibly be pushing. Hard forward, okay? Flush here. Like I said, you may have to squish and stretch a little bit to make sure it fits, but it will fit. And push forward, 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 always forward. Okay? When you get it, make sure all the slats are even. And then push it up against the double-faced tape real hard. Once it's in position, good. Okay? Now, the double-faced tape, if you don't get it the first time, it's alright, because the double-faced tape, you'll notice, is not permanent. It's not meant to hold the bamboo up here permanently. It's only meant to hold it for about 5 or 10 minutes and allow you to readjust if necessary. But it'll hold it for 5 or 10 minutes while you make it permanent. So make sure it all fits good. If it does, then you're going to take your bamboo trim strips. Okay? These are numbered on the back. And we're going to take number 1, and the middle line in between these two slats is going to go right over the screw on this end, and it's going to go right down here on this end. Okay, make sure that's nice and flat and flush and tight. And when it is, there's some pre-drilled holes, and all you need to do is screw your bamboo colored screws into them. And once you do this, then it's in place permanently. Okay, so just do trim strip 1 right now on both sides of the front. Don't do 2. We'll get to that soon enough. Just do 1 on both sides, and this should be overlapping the double-faced tape here in the middle part just a little bit, but not too much. This is about right. We'll move on to the next piece. All right, the front part of the bus looks good. Again, the pieces are nice and flush against the airbox, and they're held permanently and firmly in place because of the bamboo trim strip. That's what holds it permanently. We're going to forego bamboo trim strip number 2 for now. We're going to wait till the end for that. What we're going to do right now is the exact same thing for the middle section of the bus. We're going to take our middle headliner piece. We're going to fill up this whole area, and then we're going to put 1 bamboo trim strip, which is number 3, bamboo trim strip number 3, right here down the middle. This is where an extra pair of hands really comes in handy, if you've got one. Here, let's see, we got this upside down. Okay, so you're going to take 1 bamboo edge, and you're going to shimmy it down underneath each one of these, being very careful not to pop this out of the inner channel that it's in. If it pops out, you've got to pop it back. If it pops out, you have to pop it back. It always has to be in that inner channel. I apologize that you can't see me too good right now. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. Alright, so I've got it in the edge over there, and all we're going to do is we're going to push it forward as far as we can, right up into this air box, okay, at the very top part of this air vent. And we're just going to roll it across and push up hard on this tape, and that'll hold it in place for 5 minutes or 10 maybe, so that we can get the bamboo trim strip right here in the middle, okay? Roll it across and push forward, making sure it touches that air vent box. Don't push hard until you're sure it's in place. Make sure not to let a few minutes go by without pushing up on the tape, just in case it decides it wants to fall down. Then you'll shimmy it under the hardboard supports on this side. It does fit very precisely, don't it? Okay, so that's in, and we're going to put bamboo trim strip right here down the middle, bamboo trim strip number 3. Alright, so we got bamboo trim strip 3. We're going to butt it up right against this edge here, right in the middle between these two windows. We're going to make sure it goes straight across. Does that look straight to you? Almost. That's pretty straight. Okay. Now, if you have a raw light or a raw dark headliner, probably the best thing to do is just screw with the screwdriver directly. But if you have a tortoise or a chocolate, this still has the bamboo skin on it, so it's sometimes good to drill a pilot hole, not all the way through, just through the very first layer of bamboo. You don't want to go through the hardboard, because the hardboard is what you need this to screw into. Not necessary, it's just a help. And that's only if you have the tortoise or the chocolate, because once again, they still have the bamboo skin on them, and that's a little tougher. Raw light and raw dark, you don't have to do that. And now the middle headliner piece is held permanently in place because of bamboo trim strip number 3. As you can see, it's butted as far forward as it can possibly get against this air vent. And there's a gap between the front and the middle sections. That's okay, just ignore it for now. We'll get to it at the end, promise. Let's move on to the rear piece. Alright, you know the drill by now. We're going to take the rear headliner piece and we're going to put it up and then put bamboo trim strip number 5 right down here, down the middle. Now the front of this piece should overlap onto this, and the rear should overlap onto this. In fact, onto this metal roof support on the back here. Here we go. So you shimmy it down underneath the hardboard supports. Get it down there good. And then you just start to, slip the little, there we go. You just start to roll it across, make sure it's straight. This one tends to go crooked just because of the shape of the bus back here. If it goes a little crooked, it's okay, but not too crooked. That's too crooked. We gotta push it back a little. All right. So mash it up there nice and good. There we go. Now it's good. All right. Now again, you can see there's a little gap here. That's okay. Ain't no big deal. But what you do want to do is remember to fish the dome light wire out of here so that we can put that back. All right, we'll put up trim strip number 5. All right, it's looking good. Now at the very rear of the bus, there's a diagonal metal piece. You're gonna take your far rear bamboo headliner piece, and there's 3 holes in the bottom of that. And you're gonna drill and screw into that diagonal piece, make it flush with the bottom. And make sure to center it, because if you don't center it, your hatch might not shut correctly. The arms might get in the way. So use those holes to drill and screw. And then finally pull that piece taut and drill and screw, overlapping the 2 pieces and drilling into the metal up above. Then take trim strip 4, and here, remember there's some metal up above, so that means you're going to have to drill and screw. Make sure to fish your dome light wire through. And of course, do the same with trim strip number 2. Then just replace your dome light and the vent trim.